It's part two of the conversation about infrastructure. I spoke about Kolmogorov statistics and about the idea that we're looking at filters and we're matching filters to the reality. In this section, I want to talk about energy. I think we need to start asking the question, where are the electrons going to come from? And the reason we want to ask that question is because the more we actually, the deeper we dive into the AI infrastructure space, the more we are comfortable with the conclusion that it's all going to be about scale. The more scale, the more intelligence. And for that, we need energy. Now, 1 gigawatt data center, which is what Elon Musk wants to build in Memphis, is going to consume 24 gigawatt hours per day just by definition. And 24 gigawatt hours is about 2.5x San Francisco. So we're adding 2.5 San Franciscos in one shot in maybe 6 to 9 months. That's the goal. And that will require a massive amount of storage to smooth the electricity consumption and also to smooth the voltages in the data center and also, I guess, around Memphis. But I guess this is just the beginning, right? Because if Tesla succeeds, or X in this case, and then Tesla later on with Colossus, if they succeed with these types of investments, others will follow. So we're going to start adding San Francisco's left and right to the electrical grid. And the question then is, how are we going to power all this? Now, Tesla has announced yesterday I think it's called Megapack. I believe that's how they call it. So it's basically a modular collection of megapacks. No, it's not. That Megapack already exists. Gigapack, maybe? Okay, doesn't matter. I'm putting the link in the show notes of the presentation. What matters is that they're scaling up. And what they're scaling up is the deployment and the speed of deployment of storage. They claim they will be able to add 1 gigawatt hour of storage in 20 days. So if you have a gigawatt scale data center, you're going to need roughly 4 gigawatt hours of storage, roughly, because the rule of thumb is you need about 4 hours of storage in order to cooperate, let's say, with the grid and with renewables and things like that. Now, of course, if you only rely on renewables, 4 hours is not enough. You're going to need more like 8-9 hours, but there's an optimal point here, Pareto optimality, between the grid and things like that, and maybe also gas generators and things along those lines. So I don't want to go into details here. My point here is more that on the one hand, we have a huge demand for gigawatt scale battery storage, which of course is positive for Tesla as a business. The question then in the end is going to be, okay, where are the electrons going to come from? And it seems that at least on a political scale, what we've done as a country here is made a decision that we're going to move the electricity to the data center. So we're not going to rely on utilities and power providers, traditional power providers, to give us the electricity because they're just not able to scale up at the speed that we require. What we're going to do is we're going to put it in the hands of startups. We're going to put it in the hands of the actual AI providers, whether it's NVIDIA, AWS, Microsoft, also the providers like let's say Schneider Electric or GE Vernova, things along companies in that space have a better chance to match the speed and quality required to compete at and deliver all the promised stuff. Now, here's the thing. In the end, somebody has to produce the actual electrons because no Schneider Electric, no GE Vernova, no whatever is going to actually produce the electrons. It's going to have to be, in my opinion, a startup in small modular reactors, maybe solar, maybe both, ideally both, and battery. So that's, I'm going to put this out there now. We're not going to go into depth because there's too many moving factors here. But I think just the purpose of this podcast is to give people a sense of what it feels like to run a hedge fund. And this is a very important point to be made here. There is huge demand for electricity and electricity infrastructure and AI infrastructure And as a hedge fund, you want to invest in the space. There's going to be demand, there's going to be supply, there's value. And the way you generate wealth here is by investing in the AI infrastructure, so in the chip manufacturing, in the chip deployment, in the data center deployment, in the electricity infrastructure deployment, and fundamentally also in the electricity production, whether that is through small nuclear reactors, small modular reactors, or solar and or storage. That remains to be seen. Probably a mix of those three will be the best mix for a rapid increase in electricity production. Thank you.